Good afternoon. Welcome to Memorial Gymnasium. It's the second semifinal for the Phil Cox Memorial Basketball Tournament right here in Kokomo, Indiana. And the Wildcats are playing in this one. Undefeated Center Grove taking on 6-3 Kokomo. J.D. Arland here on the call alongside Jim Leisure. And Jim, we have a great game in front of us. Center Grove put on quite a show yesterday.
Yeah, you know, Coach Zach Hahn is off to a 9-0 start. I believe the first 9-0 start in history is what we said last night on the air. And so, yeah, and again, Kokomo has the big fella, you know, Flory Badunga, and he's going to be a handful to handle for Coach Hahn. And Coach Peckinpah has done a great job his second year here at Kokomo.
Today's game brought to you by Coca-Cola of Kokomo, proudly serving Kokomo and the surrounding area since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo keeps the Cats hydrated both on the court and in the classroom. Find out more at cckokomo.com. And by Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management. Financial advice that is custom and financial advice that you can trust. All right, we meet tonight's officials. As you can see, checking in at the scorer's table. Those are brought to you by Andrew Prince Realty. Whether it's buying, selling, renting, or even investing when it comes to real estate, Andrew Prince with 21st Century Sheets is here to help. Century 21 Sheets, that is. 317-883-7575 or online at prince.indyhomehunt.com. Our officials will be Zachary Barnes, Drew Farley, and Christopher Scheller as we meet the starting lineups for both squads. And if you had to give a key player, obviously it's going to be Flory Badunga for Kokomo. If you had to give a key player for Center Grove, who would it be?
It would be Marcus Anke. He's a young man that averages about 15.5 points a game. He had a big night last night. And again, we'll see how it's going to be interesting because both these teams played in the night game. And now they got to come back and play in the morning today. So we may see a little bit of fatigue. I mean, these are young kids, and they probably run all day. But we could see a little bit of rust.
Starting lineups are presented by Virtual Announcer. That's Aaron Pittman and Virtual Announcer. Make your game day experience the absolute best by hiring Aaron. If you can't be there, he'll be your virtual announcer. That's for any sport, not just hoops. Find out more and just how affordable it can be at Virtual Announce on social or by calling 317-800-0612. And now we meet the starters for the visiting Center Grove Trojans. Started off with the 0 jersey. The junior point guard standing at 6'0", that's Jalen Bundy. Then it's the 6'3" senior guard, number 3, Marcus Anke. The 6'2" senior guard, number 5, Ethan McComb. Then the 6'1" junior guard, number 15, Joey Schmitz. Followed by the 6'5" junior forward, number 42, Will Spellman. Again, 9-0, haven't lost a game. Looking to keep that streak. They get their 10th straight. Center Grove off to one of its best starts in program history. And speaking of program history, we move to Kokomo. This is an Indiana top 10 matchup. And now we meet the starters for the home Wildcats. Number 1, Zion Bellamy. That's not a typo because number 3 is Xavion Bellamy, his senior brother. The 6'0" senior guard. Move on to number 21, Carson Rogers. He's a 6'5" junior forward. Then number 35, who just got announced, Shane Spear, a 6'2" senior guard. And then, of course, number 40, Flory Badunga. If you don't know who that guy is, I want to know what rock you've been living under, because he is all that anybody could talk about all across the state. In Indiana high school ball, got a double-double last night, has gotten a double-double in almost every game this season. How do you guard number 40?
I mean, I think I would put a guy in front and a guy behind and then just let the other guys beat me. I will tell you that number 1, Zion Bellamy, the sophomore, is a very explosive player, had a big night last night. He kind of runs everything for this Kokomo team. But, man, I tell you, if you were into assists, they're just – there by the bushel full. Just throw the ball up, let Badunga go up and slam it home. The dunkometer has been reset to 0.
Where do you see this dunkometer?
Might be right behind your screen. There's a cheerleader standing down there.
Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the left side of your screen. We'll get a shot of it a little later after tip-off. But, yeah, the Dunkometer for Kokomo, I love it.
And she may be the person charged with changing it because it changes instantly. Before the ball hits the ground, it's been changed.
Faster than our scoreboard.
Yeah.
All right, Kokomo gets a tip. There's Xavier Bellamy. Right side. And check this out, Kokomo playing a little slow. The matchup down low is Will Spellman versus Flory Badunga. Carson Rogers over there, almost interrupted. Xavier Bellamy. Back out to Shane Spear. Shane Spear missed the first couple of games of the season with injury.
Well, Center Grove is in a man defense, and they're just checking Badunga with just Spellman.
And he will foul.
Yeah, I was going to say, that didn't end well.
Will Spellman picking up number one on Center Grove as well. And not a out of the bonus or anything like that. So we send it right back out, and Badunga finds Zion Bellamy. The younger Bellamy brother, only a sophomore, standing at 5'8". Center Grove will capitalize. There's Joey Schmitz.
Every time I hear the word Bellamy brother, I think of the country duo from the 80s. Some classic songs.
Up to the basket is Will Spellman, and the Trojans strike first.
Yeah, so Spellman's saying, look, I can play a little bit too.
Here's Bellamy. Badunga almost on the rebound. Instead it goes to Joey Schmitz. Schmitz flicks it out. McComb back over the top. Spellman thought about the three. Instead goes for the easy off glass two. And now Center Grove leads 4-0. A minute and a half into this game.
What a play by Will Spellman there. The shot fake takes Badunga off his feet. Drives around him, lays it off the glass nicely.
Zion Bellamy on under the rim. And now Kokomo is on the board. Back and forth basketball. Both teams trying to feel each other out. Badunga usually has a quiet start to the game and then settles in for some of those highlight reel plays that I'm sure you've seen throughout the last couple of weeks. Badunga on the rebound. Under 6. Bellamy to Bellamy, back to Spear. Badunga under the rim. Kick it off to Carson Rogers, who's fouled during his look. Second team foul for Center Grove. It'll be on Jalen Bundy.
I like how they get the ball out here to Badunga. And again, that's just a little bit out of his range. And obviously the rest of the Kokomo Cats know that, hey, when he's out of his range, cut to the bucket, he'll get you the ball. And he did.
That one rolls away. I'd like to thank our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo, proudly serving Kokomo and the surrounding area since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo keeps the Cats hydrated both on the court and in the classroom. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Second one gets the friendly roll. 3-4.
Rogers only shoots 44% from the line, at least coming into this tournament. So he's about there right now at 50%.
Will Spellman gets it into Joey Schmitz. A fast-paced Trojan offense. Very clean passes. Doesn't leave anything for Kokomo to capitalize on.
Now Schmitz can score too, and he averages about 14 or 15 as well.
Shane Spear, no-look pass. Over to Bellamy. Can't get it done. Jalen Bundy the rebound. He'll send it back out wide. Marcus Ainke. 2 points don't go. Bellamy wanted to break into that lane but didn't find space. Carson Rogers fighting for it. Stolen away by Ainke. And McComb will take it up, followed by Bundy. Under the rim, Spellman blocked away by Badunga. We'll see if they call a goaltend, and they will. So that'll be a goaltend. It was within the cylinder. But man, what a block by him. Even though it doesn't go on the stat sheet, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, he had one last night that was really close. I mean, he just got it at the apex of the ball starting to come down, and it was not called, but that one clearly was and was called. So who was credited with that basket, JD? I didn't see who they gave that to.
You know, that makes two of us.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get it on the stats.
Yeah,
Kokomo here does a great job.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Zion Bellamy on the outside to Carson Rogers. Has the screen from Badunga. Spear lit it up from 3 when Kokomo played Carmel. Goes off glass for 2. Shane Spear drives inside, and that will cause the timeout from Center Grove. 8-5. And we'd like to thank our friends at Hoosier Shooting Academy. Combine cutting-edge technology with old-school work ethic to make your game better. The Hoosier Shooting Academy, located on Indy's southeast side, just off of 465 and Brookville Road. Always open online at HoosierShooting.net. And by Scott Young of One Midwest Financial. Scott Young offers a wide range of products and services that can help clients get the stability needed to face life's surprises. Scott will work in sync with his clients to uncover their financial goals, review the state of their financial health, and identify strategies to guide you up and down the financial mountain. Send him an email, syoung@onemidwestfp.com. And so we go back to the action with just over 4 minutes. There's a look at the Badunga goaltend. It was another close one.
Yeah, Coach Peckinpah's still getting an explanation from the official there. Apparently, I don't know if it was that particular call he didn't like or something else.
Jalen Bundy, miscommunication in the attempted pass to Schmitz. Instead, Zion Bellamy comes up with it. Bellamy trying to go to Badunga, who had 2 defenders on him. Jalen Bundy down low to Schmitz, send it back to the top of the key. Why not for Spellman? He's got 3. And that's his 7th point. 11-5, and Spellman has 7 of them for the Trojans.
Again, you know, if you're a kid like Spellman and you're going up against a guy with the reputation of Badunga, you got to say, listen, I want to show people that I can play a little bit too. Now, he's being real physical in there. Coach Peckinpah is just screaming at the officials. He was pushing Flory around.
Savion Bellamy off the mark. Ethan McComb kicks it out to Marcus Enke. Enke under Spellman, guarded by Badunga, blocked away. That's not a goaltend that time. Zion Bellamy over to Shane Spear. Off glass, and Spear gets another one of those easy 2-point rollers. This gym is starting to get loud.
There was a lot of contact there, too, and I thought Spear just did a nice job of creating it. And these officials are just letting them play. So the teams and the coaches are just going to have to adjust to a little bit more of a physical game. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You just, if they're going to call it, you know, like this, then you got to play like this. Got to adjust. Marcus
Enke turn and shoot. I think Badunga got a finger on it. The second chance shot from Joey Schmitz goes in. 13-7, 2:24 to go.
Offensive boards, second chances.
2 team fouls in Center Grove compared to none for Kokomo. It is still the first quarter of play. Winner goes to the championship round of the Phil Cox Memorial Tournament, as we get an easy layup from Zion Bellamy.
And this is, JD, a Center Grove team that really crashes the offensive board. They had 16 offensive rebounds last night against Riley. And it's obviously something that they stress. They practice it a lot, I'm sure. They probably give awards for kids that can get the most and that kind of thing. If it's important, you'll do it.
Second chance offense leads to things like that. The Ethan McComb 3. Center Grove already lighting it up from beyond the arc.
Again, watch down here with Spellman and Badunga.
Here comes Badunga calling for it. Guarded tough by Spellman, and I think that'll be on 42 in red. Badunga helped up by Shane Spear. So that's 2 on Spellman.
And that's unfortunate because he's having a good offensive. He's having a good defensive game too, but was getting really, really physical down there, and it was just a matter of time.
Reese Beard, Patrick Hardiman in the game. And this one's going back the other way.
Yeah, that's going to be a turnover on Badunga there as he pushed off a little bit. So Garrett Messer now is charged with defending young Flory Badunga. We'll see what he can do.
Messer 6'5", a senior, has experience. There's about a 5-inch mismatch in height. Enke on over to Messer. Enke gonna try it, flick it out. Schmitz thought about the three. Instead passed it on to Peyton Bird. Enke, long two jumper goes. And how about the confidence to be able to shoot over Badunga like that?
Well, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it from about 8 feet away, which is what he did.
Bellamy answers right back. Hey, I can do that too, he says. Xavion Bellamy, his 4th point. About 30 seconds left here in this first quarter. 18-11, a high-scoring ball game at Memorial Gymnasium. Jalen Bundy from the baseline gives it off to Garrett Messer, who misses the shot. Shane Spear has 22 seconds to get it down and in.
Now, what you saw there was Jalen Bundy went inside on the block, and Badunga's there. You don't want that shot.
Spear is fouled on his way to the bucket. So we'll take a second to thank our friends at ADP and Anthony Bennett. Did you know that ADP pays 1 in 6 Americans? And did you know that if you mention ISC, you can get the full range of ADP services free for 3 months? That's right, ISC plus ADP. They've partnered to help your small business, and it's free for 3. Call Anthony Bennett at 317-427-8249 or email that one on your screen, anthony.bennett@adp.com, and mention us at ISC. Back to the action, Shane Spear shooting his second one. Kokomo down by 6. 18-12 the score. The top-ranked Indiana matchup. Center Grove coming into the game ranked 8th in the AP poll. Kokomo ranked 6th. Badunga tried to block, instead got a rebound. On over to Patrick Hardiman, who just tries the prayer, and you know what? It almost went in. But that'll do it for the first period of regulation. Center Grove leads Kokomo 18-12. We're going to step away for a moment on ISC. We'll be right back.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score! See, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here.
Back in the second quarter, you have not missed a moment. 7:49 to go. Neither side has scored. Still the same score from the first quarter, as we came back at the right time, because Marcus Acme loads one up and fires from deep range, 21-12.
He does shoot 46% from behind the arc.
And notably, looking down the stat sheet, Floyd Badunga held scoreless in that first quarter. Now we see Patrick Hardiman. Shane Spear kicks it wide. Hardiman, bang. From downtown, Patrick Hardiman. Kokomo still very much in this thing. 21-15. The 6'4" senior guard forward cashing in from deep. Had 5 of those against Carmel. Spin move in for Joey Schmitz. Third time he's done that for 6 points.
Yeah, he just actually caught Badunga out away from the rim there. Badunga was actually more toward the free throw line and thought, you know what, he ain't in here.
Wow. Xavion Bellamy, 7 points for him. Long-range shooter, 23-18. More threes, because why not? It's going down the other way. Head coach John Peckinpah not too thrilled. Call was on Joey Schmitz.
Team 6th. So with 6.5 minutes to go, the Kokomo is going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Coach Peckinpah, man, he likes to talk to the officials. And then, you know what? You get what you tolerate. If they let him talk, he'll talk.
Spear over to Hardiman, calling for the screen. Charges down the baseline. Shane Spear thought about letting loose. Instead, kicks it back on the outside to Reese Beard. Beard back to Bellamy. A lot of good passing as Kokomo slows it down, tries to play their game, and a moving screen called on Garrett Messer.
Yeah, no, so again, Coach Hahn's game plan is obviously to be very physical with Flory Badunga. And again, you can do that. You basically have 10 fouls to give. 5 with Spellman and 5 with Messer, and right now they both have 2 apiece.
Flory Badunga goes to the line. Still no field goals. Apologize if you hear any colorful language in the background. Flory Badunga from the free throw line. 23-19. Only 4 points of separation. Big man can shoot. No hack-a-shack in this building.
No, yeah, again, and you got to be able to do that because you're going to get fouled, and you got to make them pay when they do.
Marcus Ackney eventually goes in the hands of Marcus Ackney. The cyclical offense. And Ackney tosses inside, but Shane Spear read it like a book. Has time to throw it down. The alley-oop to Badunga. Wasn't ready for it. Caught his own rebound. Badunga tries, fails, and it's back to the outside. So technically 3 offensive rebounds in that sequence for the Wildcats. Badunga off the mark. It stays with Kokomo. Center Grove is not thrilled about that.
Yeah, I heard a whistle immediately, and I thought maybe the officials were going to get together and talk about it, but it was a sub, so they wanted to make sure we got the sub in.
Hardiman off glass. Nothing. Got to take every opportunity you can. Center Grove up 3, 23-20. Dylan Metter in the game. Pop shot goes right in the hands of Badunga. Here's Shane Spear, gonna try to drive inside, has it stripped away. Hitting the deck, and timeout call.
Yeah, Coach Hahn sees his player on the floor with the ball, didn't want to risk the travel, calls the timeout. Very nice.
I'd like to thank our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo, proudly serving Kokomo and the surrounding area since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo keeps the Cats hydrated both on the court and in the classroom. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Did you know there's actually a vintage soda fountain in the press room? Pretty cool. And by Community First Bank. Community First Bank is a proud sponsor of today's game. They're genuinely helpful local bankers, serve the Kokomo and greater Indianapolis communities. Voted Kokomo's best bank 15 years in a row. Find out more at CFB Indiana, member FDIC. JD Arlen, Jim Leisure here on the call on the ISC Sports Network. It is the second semifinal game of the Phil Cox Memorial Classic at Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana. Winner goes to the championship game. That's at 7:30, barring any major changes to the schedule. The winner will take on Brownsburg, who blew past Warren Central earlier in the day. Less than 5 minutes to go, and this is the first half of play. Center Grove holding on to that 3-point lead. Bundy matched up tough. If Badunga had stuck his arm out, might have been a turnover. Missed shot poked back out to the top of the key.
Again, that's just things that they stress. They do that as well as any team I've ever seen. Keep that ball alive. Kick it back out to the arc.
Counts as a board. Badunga gets the defensive rebound. Been a stat sheet stuffer on the defensive side of the ball rather than the offensive side today. Badunga, wide open Spear. Misses off the neck of the basket. Here's Medor. Got that stop and pop too a little bit earlier.
Center Grove with an opportunity to extend the lead here.
Peyton Bird back over to Jalen Bundy.
We were talking last night, Peyton Bird, two names of iconic sports figures in Indiana.
I was thinking that it's even spelled right. Metter shot goes off. It's met with a few whistles under the rim. Into the game is Marcus Acne.
Yeah, we wondered if maybe his middle name was Reggie. Try to get the trifecta of sports greats.
Wayne or Miller? Easy three-point bucket from Ethan McComb. His second three of the game, so 6 points for him. Number 5 been reliable from beyond the arc.
Well, extend the lead they did with the big one there. So, again, every possession's important. Kokomo's really needs a bucket here. I mean, if they don't get it, it's not the end of the world, obviously. A lot of basketball to be played. But you want to be able to at least keep pace.
A very quick game already. Only 3 minutes to go in the half. Reese Beard. Oh, just too quick. Maybe a little too strong off the backboard and then commits a foul. An unfortunate sequence for Beard, who, had he been just a step behind where he was, would have gotten 2 points and no foul. Instead, he gets 0 points and picks up a personal.
You know, and again, you see that a lot with a kid. He basically makes a mistake. He misses the layup, and then he tries to overcompensate. I'm going to get the steal then. I'm going to get the ball back. And they reach in and get the foul, so you make a bad situation worse. But again, you saw where Badunga got the ball away from the basket. Somebody cuts. It's as simple as that. If they see Flory away from the basket, somebody cut. Replace him.
Patrick Bird is blocked. Badunga has the open floor. He's going to have to pass it out that ball a little bit too quick. Gets it off to Shane Spear. Spin move it in. What a sequence for the Wildcats. A block, an assist, hit the X button to spin it in.
Yeah, once again, the officials letting a whole lot of contact there. Xavion Bellamy just rode him like Seattle slew from about the 10-second line down to, and finally they're like, all right, if you're going to beat him like that, I'm going to have to call that.
So the foul goes on Xavion Bellamy, his first foul. Kokomo's committed 4 of those.
Yeah, Center Grove's the squad that's got a little bit of foul trouble going. A couple of big guys with 2. They're already in the bonus, or Kokomo's already in the bonus, I should say.
7 fouls for Center Grove. A good idea, but then I think he saw Flory Badunga and said, never mind.
Yeah, Peyton Bird was there trying to literally block out but Badunga before the ball was even shot.
And there's a quick one from Joey Schmitz, who has a sneaky 8 points already.
Yeah, Joey can play a little bit. And, you know, as a coach, when they say a kid can play a little bit, that means he's pretty good. You say, yeah, Larry Bird, he can play a little bit.
Patrick Hardiman takes it to the rim. 5 points for him. Minute and a half to go. Center Grove leading Kokomo 28-24.
Yeah, what a fun game so far, man. Close ball game.
It's been a high-scoring game.
Yeah. Messer back in. Hopefully doesn't get his 3rd foul here in minute 23. We'll see, though. He's a physical kid, and he's not shy about it. He's like, look, this is the only way I could guard this guy. I'm going to have to beat him to death. So blow the whistle or don't.
And if you're just joining us from the end of the first game in the Hall of Fame Classic, welcome to the Phil Cox Memorial Tournament here in Kokomo. Center Grove leading the Cats 28-4.
We're going to call Badunga here with an illegal screen. They do.
So that's his second.
Yeah, he's got to come out now. You certainly don't want him to get his 3rd with just 65 seconds to play in the half.
Badunga not having the day that he wants.
No, and, you know, credit Coach Hahn and Messer and Spellman, and to a certain degree Bird, who are just beating him up. This officiating crew has made it pretty clear through their actions/inactions that they're going to let them play. They're going to let both teams be physical. This is not a one-sided thing. They're just saying, guys, you know, football is a collision sport. Basketball is a contact sport. That's their interpretation today.
I'm going to start using that. Jalen Bundy Off to Spellman, a name we haven't called in a while because of his early 2 fouls. Spellman the rebound, the assist. Yes, after so long in the air. Joey Schmitz is broken into double digits. That's his 10th point, 31-24. 30 seconds on the clock, and here comes Bellamy.
That one just rattled the rim.
Bellamy to the other one. Got it. Xavier to Zion for 3. And so we're under 30 seconds. Kokomo only trails by 4. They want to go into the locker room with a halftime lead. That one's poked away. Acne inside to Spellman. Can't get up the first time. If you don't succeed, try again. It's not enough. A foul called on Spellman.
I was going to say, we'll see who this is on. It is, unfortunately, on Spellman. If you are a Center Grove fan, so he's out, Bird's in. I'm sorry, Messer's back in. Well, I think I would have went with Bird because you don't want Messer to get his foul. Third foul with 4 seconds to play in the half.
Messer already has 2. That's 3 on Spellman. 8 total team fouls in this first half for Center Grove. Didn't you say they only had 7 total last night?
That's
the whole
exactly
game?
7 total fouls in the whole ball game.
Tough. It's going back the other way after the miss from Carson Rogers.
Clearly a player displacement there. Again, people always say over the back. You can go over the back as long as you don't hit anybody, as long as you don't displace the player, and he clearly moved him from point A to point B.
Hardiman, tough defense. Less than a second. Put it up. It won't count. If it goes in, it doesn't. And so that'll be our halftime score. What a fun game, back and forth. We'll have the full breakdown in just a moment. You're watching the ISC Sports Network. Center Grove leads Kokomo 31-27. We'll be right back from Memorial Gymnasium.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a 3rd season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com. You can see episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at ISCSportsNetwork.com.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God, there you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That it is. Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa! We're back in Memorial Gymnasium, a playlist my broadcasting partner Jim Leisure is sure to like, with a lot of 80s music on it. Jim, you've got your highlighter out, looking at the stat sheet. Tell us, what do you see? What's catching your eye?
Joey Schmitz for Center Grove has really kind of come alive with 11 points in the first half. Will Spellman offensively, again, I'm sure Coach Hahn wanted him to defend Badunga, but didn't expect him necessarily to get 9. So he's out front as well. And for Kokomo, they've got 6 players and scorers in the book. So they're spreading it around. Relatively competitive game here, 31-27, 4 points. This could go either way.
So Badunga with 2, but not in the way you'd expect. One's a shift, one's an illegal screen. Is that the way that you force Badunga out as you cause him to make offensive errors that eventually end up with him on the bench?
You certainly can do that. I know I've seen coaches come up with plays where they're going to get the kid out of position defensively and then sneak somebody, generally like a little guard, up underneath him, and then when he turns to defend, run over the defender, and then, again, that's an offensive foul. But the one that he got offensively was more of a shove when he had the basketball. But, yeah, you can do that. I mean, and honestly, when you do it with a little guy against a 6'10 guy, that contact looks even more egregious, and officials, I think, are more likely to call it. They're like, oh, my God, he mauled that kid. You know, well, I don't know if he mauled him, right? He's just 5'8". Man, Badunga's 6'10". It looked bad, but it wasn't.
Foul for being tall. During this halftime break, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Dan Thompson and Thompson Wealth Management. Today's game presented by the Thompson Wealth Management Group of RBC. Financial security begins by building a plan you can trust. Dan and his team provide custom advice for your individual needs and goals no matter where you are in life. You can depend on their independence and expertise. Call Dan Thompson today at 317-810-5414 or visit ThompsonWMG.com to set up your complimentary consultation. And, of course, by Andrew Prince Realty. Whether it's buying, selling, renting, or even investing when it comes to real estate, Andrew Prince with Century 21 Sheets is here to help. 317-883-7575 or online at prince.indyhomehunt.com. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have our last thoughts on the first half. And then, of course, the latter 2 quarters of play here from Memorial Gymnasium. Winner goes to the championship of the Phil Cox Memorial Tournament. We will be right back on ISC Sports Network.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
Has to finish.
You get a layup taken and an and one.
Out of here.
The original Gridiron Gang provides on and off the field football training for all athletes, and that applies to any budget as well. The Gridiron Gang offers a scholarship program for underrepresented communities and families who work in the public sector, allowing athletes to train for free. Gridiron Gang is led by Robert Mathis, Daniel Muir, and other longtime NFL vets. Text Gridiron to 55433 for more info. Click on the Foundation tab to nominate a student athlete today.
Holiday Hoops on ISC. You're locked in live. Memorial Gymnasium here in Kokomo, Indiana. Center Grove with a 31-27 lead over the home team Wildcats. J.D. Arlen, Jim Leisure here in person and live. Jim, you've had some time to look over the stat sheet and think about what it's going to be, the keys to victory in the final 2 quarters for both sides.
Well, again, obviously a very competitive basketball game, 31-27 Center Grove over Kokomo. Both teams have protected the basketball fairly well. Kokomo has 5 turnovers, Center Grove only 3. So I think that'll be a key in the second half. Can one team or the other force the other team into mistakes? Turnovers in basketball almost always end up in layups or dunks on the other end. So turnovers will be a key, and then fouls. You know, Center Grove does have Spellman with 3, and they got Messer, the other big kid, with 2. But Dunga himself has 2. So fouls and turnovers will be the story of this game, I think, in the second half.
We see Kokomo, who's out there shooting around. They shot well, 50% from the floor. And take a look at some first half highlights. We saw a big game from Will Spellman before his 3 fouls. And so, you know, I'm sure a lot of Center Grove fans watching want to see more out of 42. And he does match up well against Floyd Badunga. I really think he can go up against him, but he just hasn't stayed clean, and that's really been his downfall today.
Yeah, and again, you saw the big 3 there, but a couple of those buckets were, again, when Badunga was away from the rim, or one time they went on the other side of the rim just to avoid him. You see another big block. This is a big possession here. Great hustle by Badunga. Gets down here, kicks it out, and nice spin move underneath, and finish there by Spear.
First half highlights brought to you by our fantastic broadcast guru. Vincent Morales in the truck, the Speed Demon, as well as Aaron Siders on camera. About 1:53 to go
Center Grove's still not out. Coach Hahn coaching them up. Now, again, clearly their defensive game plan was just we're going to be physical. You know, we got a bunch of players. If we foul out, we foul out, but we got to be physical. We've got to push Badunga away from the rim. And so far, when they got him the ball, it's never been on the block where he wants it. It's always been, 5 to 8 feet out. And then, of course, a slasher or a cutter normally goes to the lane, which is Coach Peckinpah's answer to that. But, yeah, Coach Hahn, and here they come right now. I thought maybe we were going to go down there and get them.
They're on and out. But, yeah, I'm looking down the stat sheet, and something that I'm also seeing, something that we've not really been talking about too much, is that throughout the game, Center Grove is 50% from beyond the arc. Kokomo is 60% from beyond the arc.
Boy,
so some great three-point shooters, as well as, of course, inside post play. You talk in these games about Badunga so much, you can kind of forget guys like Patrick Hardiman, like Marcus Spears, or like Shane Spear, like Xavion and Zion Bellamy, who, when they have the open shot, connect most of the time. And I don't think you can overlook talent like that. If Center Grove tries to speed this thing up, which I think they will, that's how you slow them down.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to make those big threes count. We said it earlier. I went to Our Lady. We don't count so good, but I do know that threes add up quicker than twos. And obviously a big part of the game since I believe about 1987 or 88 is when the IHSAA adopted the three-point line. It was a National Federation rule adoption, but about 87 or 88. Someone can look it up if they want.
Tim Leisure, full of one-liners.
Yeah, and when I played, you didn't have that mamby-pamby three-point line. You wanted three. You had to drive the lane, get hit in the face, finish, and then hit the free throw while blood dripped out of your nose.
That sounds difficult.
Yeah. It's the only three-pointers we knew. Now, we still play like that, in our rec league. It's no autopsy, no foul.
No autopsy, no foul. Oh, my God. Man. Full of them. 7:50 to go here in this third quarter as we get back to the action.
And once again, you see Badunga gets the ball away from the basket. He doesn't want it there.
Zion Bellamy, help from his brother. A nice screen. Got the open look for Carson Rogers, who gave it back to Bellamy. Kokomo slowing things down, trying to play their own game. Give it off to Badunga. Foul, they say it's on the floor. So he still hasn't made a field goal.
Nope. And he won't be shooting one there either, so that's just the first foul of the half. So.
It'll go against Jalen Bundy, like the PA guy said. That's his third. First, obviously, of the half for Center Grove. Here's Badunga. Backing down. Oh! Off the mark twice.
Rogers tried to do with the basically tip in, couldn't get it.
That thing was just off the mark.
Yeah, the next time Kokomo has the basketball, try not to watch the ball. Watch Badunga and Spellman. Just watch that battle. The ball will appear. The ball will do what the ball does. Watch those two guys.
Badunga trying to back him into a corner. The big man from outside, Will Spellman. His second three of the game, by the way.
So he's averages about 9. He's got 10.
6'5" and shooting like that is unheard of at the high school level.
Again, another way, though, to negate Badunga is just to shoot threes. Don't go in there.
Bellamy lets one go. Rogers, the rebound. Whistle blown on the 5 jersey, Ethan McComb. Oh, excuse me, no, it's on Ankney. Special thanks to Brent Nickerson for the help on the pronunciation on that, Ankney. Bellamy to Bellamy, and on back to Shane Spear. Spear thought about Badunga, instead kicks it back out wide. Rogers to Bellamy. Bellamy in the lane. No foul, rebound, Flory. His 10th.
Yeah, he may have gotten tripped. I think that's what caused him to fall off balance. So this is where he wants the ball.
And he's got it. His first field goal of the game.
That is where he wants the ball. That little baby hook that I was telling you about, right on the block. Any further out, it's a little difficult, more difficult to hit, and he'll have a tendency to give it up to a cutter.
4 points, 10 rebounds for the big man, by the way. So just 6 points away from another double-double. Grant Spellman is hit, gives it off to McComb. Inside the lane is Schmitz, who has a sneaky 10 points. Schmitz stepped out. Oh, no, it'll be a foul. They'll call a foul
on Badunga.
On Badunga, so that is his third foul. I'm sure many Kokomo fans wish he had just stepped out. But Badunga's going to stay in with 3 fouls. Beginning part of this third quarter, he's going to have to play a whole lot more conservative. Spellman sets the screen. McComb around the outside. Schmitz into the lane, up off glass. Spellman the putback. 12 points for Will Spellman, leading all scorers.
And doing a really good job defensively. Again, just keep an eye on him right here on Badunga. Watch him out as he'll push him out.
Shane Spears just off to the left. And Ankni is fouled. It'll go against Shane Spear. That's number 1 for him. Second of the half. 2 team fouls for Center Grove as well. So some more inbounding ahead. Jalen Bundy. Spellman Ankni puts it up and in. Nice roll off the glass. Got around Badunga with enough time to release the ball. 38-29, 4:22 to go. Down the other end is Bellamy. The older brother Xavion on that one. And then the immediate foul. So kind of like you said, guys get excited.
Yep, try to do too much. Got to stay within yourself. Timeout on the floor. Let's see who called it.
I think it'll be on Center Grove.
And it is a full.
And so we'll take a second to thank our sponsors. First up, Coca-Cola of Kokomo, proudly serving Kokomo and the surrounding areas since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo keeps the Cats hydrated both on the court and in the classroom. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Today's game also brought to you by Dan Thompson and Thompson Wealth Management. They're presenting this game through the Thompson Wealth Management Group of RBC. Financial security begins by building a plan you can trust. Dan and his team provide custom advice for your individual needs and goals. No matter where you are in life, you can depend on their independence and expertise. Call Dan Thompson today at 317-810-5414 or visit thompsonwmg.com to set up your complimentary consultation. 4:12 to go, 38-31. Kokomo trails by 7. And we see a little bit of a change in the lineup as Reese Beard comes out. He's wearing the 2 jersey. Badunga staying out with 3 fouls. Bellamy, Xavion Bellamy out there with 2. Shane Spears got 1. Patrick Hardiman has 1. So everybody on the floor for Kokomo has at least 1 foul.
Every coach has to make that decision of when to take a kid out, but the truth of the matter is if you take him out, he's out of the game, you go several minutes without him. You leave him in and he fouls out, then you go several minutes without him. What's the difference?
Why not make an impact now when you're down? That one's off the mark for Reese Beard. No whistle. In the corner, contested shot. Jalen Bundy left open. And Bellamy ran into him at the last minute. He'll get called. That's his 3rd.
Yeah, again, you'll see Badunga come out and try to block the shot, gets him away from the rim. So now you can go back in there.
Two shots for Bundy. 4 team fouls for Kokomo this half. Into the game now is Zion Bellamy.
And it converts them both a 71% shooter on the season from the line.
So a quiet afternoon from Florian Badunga, at least on the offensive side of things. Instead, they'll go to the outside. Zion Bellamy misses, got his own rebound. Boom! Florian Badunga throws it down. What's the dunk meter say?
Oh, somebody's sleeping over there. Wake up the band.
I'm going to give it a 7.
All right.
Three-pointer off the mark, and that's a momentum shifter. They gave it a 1.
No, that's one dunk.
That's
Yeah,
a counter.
yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a rating system.
Still, though, man, I got to be at work Monday. Get that thing moving.
So one big one for Badunga. He's got 6 points, by the way. The chase for 10. Here's another look.
Yeah,
Alley-oop. Throw it down. I thought they were giving him a 1 out of 10.
No,
I said
they count him.
That's much better than a
Yeah.
1 out of 10 dunk.
Years ago, I know Marion had a dunkometer that they kept for the year.
Oh, wow.
So, and the PA announcer would go, dunkometer now sits at 74. It was during the Jay Edwards, Lyndon, I think Lyndon Jones was the other great player, played at IU.
It's harder than it looks. Certainly harder than he makes it look at 6'10".
Yeah, now last night, again, that happened 5 times. 3 or 4 of them in the first quarter. It was like stealing.
Just reach into the cookie jar. 2:45, third quarter of play. Center Grove leading by 5, 40-35. Winner of this game on the way to the championship tonight at 7:30. Catch that game right here. They'll play Brownsburg, whoever wins this game.
Coach Steve Lynch does such a fantastic job with those Bulldogs. And young coach has a regional championship with Mount Vernon back in 2013.
They might let Will Spellman shoot that. Instead, making him dribble around. Remember, Spellman, 3 personals. Marcus Ockney. Just no space down low between Hardiman and Badunga. Meador. And Spellman. Offensive. Number 4.
And again, I'm not saying there wasn't contact there, but with the full court championship wrestling that's been going on here for the last 3 quarters, that seemed like a kind of a touch foul.
Center Grove fans not so happy about that one.
And again, not so much because they didn't think there was contact. It's just that, both teams have just been banging all day long, and then you're going to call that.
It's a tough look. Badunga rises up. Rolls in and out. Second time that's happened to him today, by the way.
And again, last night, every one of those went his way. All those finger rolls at the rim, all of them went. Some days you got it, some days you don't.
Ockney swarmed. Whole pack of Wildcats. Badunga poked it.
Yeah. Well, Bird wanted no part of Badunga there. Normally a kid his size gets the ball on the block. He couldn't wait to get rid of it.
Center Grove just going round and around and around. Looking for an opportunity to break inside. They'll reverse the direction. Ockney rises up. Off the neck of the basket, gets his own rebound. Try it again. Second time's the charm. Marcus Ockney, who has
Again,
7.
Man, rebound, offensive rebound. Center Grove just keeps the ball alive. They don't even really go up to try to rebound it. They go up to tip it wide, tip it outside the arc where the other kids are trained to stay.
Patrick Hardiman letting it loose. It's a 4-point game, 42-38, 19 seconds left here in this third quarter.
I got Hardiman with 8. Coach Hahn more than satisfied with salting it away here.
6 seconds, you got to do something. Maybe stop the clock with a whistle. And they'll get Hardiman. I believe it's his second.
Not shooting yet, so.
Still 2 to give for Kokomo. 5 team fouls for the Cats, 4 for Center Grove. So 11 total fouls for Center Grove if you count both halves. That's already more than the entirety of last game where they only had 7. I still can't believe that. Reese Beard tipped it. Cats think they have it. Trojans think they have it.
Strike. Two officials, I can read his lips. He said, "I have a tip. I have a tip." So the clock should have started. There probably ought to be at least 2 seconds.
Memorial Gymnasium likes that. So Reese Beard was.
Yeah. So what about the time on the clock there?
Yeah, that's the question.
If it was a tip, then the ball was live. Coach Peckinball wants a timeout.
I think we're going to review it. Talk it over. They don't have the monitor like we do, but they're going to talk it over and see exactly what's going on as John Peckinpah takes the timeout. And we'll stay with you, 42-38.
And I think the clock operator is asking just that. If the ball was tipped, shouldn't I have started the clock? And if I started the clock, wouldn't there be less than 5.1?
Vincent Morales gets us the replay. Thank you, Vince. It's definitely tipped.
Yeah. And so the clock should be going. I mean, the clock starts right there. All right, so right now the clock should be going, and I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 seconds, but they're going to leave 5.1. May not sound like much, but, you know, gives you an extra 2 seconds to get a shot off.
A lot of time in the game of basketball, as any coach will tell you. Anything over 2 is a lot of time.
Absolutely. As we know from years ago, Danny Ainge drove the length of the court in like 2.3 seconds to hit a layup to beat Notre Dame when he was a player at BYU.
Happened in 4 for Noblesville last night. Spear lets one go. 0.5 on the clock. Hardiman can't get the putback. So much ado about nothing, unfortunately. 42-38, the score at the halfway mark. At the end of the third quarter. We already had halftime. We'll step aside for just a moment and bring you the last 8 minutes of play here on the ISC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Championship.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score! Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here.
We're back here on ISC Sports Network ahead of the fourth quarter. A very special happy birthday shout out to ISC's Vice President Greg Rakestraw, who's in Newcastle, calling the Hall of Fame Classic. That's on our other stream, so if you want to check that out, head over to YouTube. That's going all day, and it's all free for you, the viewer. Fourth quarter play, 42-38. Center Grove up by 4. Onkney trying to drive inside. Badunga off balance, and he'll be called for the offensive. So the officials really enforcing that one.
Yeah, they're calling out on Messer, an illegal screen. Because I didn't see any contact at all.
That's number 3 on Messer.
Yeah. Ankney was just dribbling the basketball. They're going to call it on him. I was just going to leave.
Can't do that yet. Badunga, second chance. Nope. A tough day for him. Joey Schmitz, no shot.
Once again, if we get a replay on this, I don't know, we'll get it. You see Messer just literally just back up and it's trying to drive him out. That's an easy call. It's the right call. Now, I love the kid. He's an aggressive player, and him and Badunga are talking. He's like, man, you're good. Right? But it's clearly a foul. That's an illegal screen. That's an official's clinic tape of an illegal screen.
It's number 4, by the way, too. How about that from Zion Bellamy? Puts him within 1, 42-41. Center Grove hanging on for dear life to its lead. Bundy back out to McComb. Bundy again going to try to drive inside, kick it back out. Now you can see the fatigue starting to play a part. Tournament basketball season. Good preparation for the postseason, of course.
That is really why you play these games. I mean, obviously you want to win the tournament, but.
Going up, Badunga blocks, no foul. Spears on the rebound.
Spears just that guy that does all the dirty work, all the rebounds, all the defense.
Spears puts it up, no good. If Kokomo takes a lead in the next couple of minutes, the roof is going to blow off this place. And a timeout called to stop the momentum. And so we will take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's contest and this tournament, Coca-Cola of Kokomo. You can see their logo in the upper right and the bottom left, proudly serving Kokomo and the surrounding areas since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo keeps the Cats hydrated both on the court and in the classroom. Yeah, those guys. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Today's game also brought to you by Scott Young of One Midwest Financial. Scott Young offers a wide range of products and services that can help clients get the stability needed to face life's surprises. Scott will work in sync with his clients to uncover their financial goals, review the state of your financial health, and identify strategies to guide you up and down the financial mountain. Email Scott at syoung@onemidwestfp.com. Shout out to our ISC crew. Of course, Jim Leisure next to me. Aaron Siders, our lone cameraman. And Vincent Morales in the truck. Vince has been here all day. He was here all day yesterday. He's going to be here all night as well. So will Aaron. Thanks to those guys and all the hard work you do. 6:25 to go, Jim. Kokomo back in this thing on the cusp.
Yeah, you know, again, what a great game. This is kind of what I thought maybe the first game would be. Warren Center just had way too many turnovers and kind of gave that game away. But, yeah, this has a chance to go all the way down. Spellman back in the ball game. So they're going to put him out there. He's got 4.
Bundy on back over to McComb and Joey Schmitz. Schmitz, by the way, has 11 points. Thought about the 3, did Spellman.
Yeah, Spellman has hit a 3, and he also got Badunga to leave his feet earlier with the shot fake, but Flory's not falling for that now.
And Flory read that one to get the rebound.
Flory's
Good
like,
defensive glass.
Flory's like, you know what? Shoot it. I'm not going to go for your
Go see what happens.
Yeah, I dare it.
He's got 11 rebounds and 6 points, Flory does. That was his 12th rebound.
That's where he wants it.
And hey, make it 8 points. Flory Badunga puts Kokomo over Center Grove by 1. They're in front 43-42 in a fashion I'm sure many fans love to see. And right back, Jalen Bundy changes the lead again.
Jalen Bundy, no fear. Backs his way down into the lane and
a 10-inch height disadvantage on Badunga and still not afraid to drive inside like that.
Not impressed.
Shane Spears. Here's Reese Beard getting it into Badunga.
Notice the cutters. When he gets it up top, there's going to be somebody cutting the basket. That is not his shot. He doesn't want the ball there. He doesn't want the shot.
Bellamy saves it. Beard to Spears. Obviously no shot clock, so hey, take your time. Kokomo down 1. Spears to the basket. Got it. Kokomo up 1, 45-44. Shane Spear. Clutch.
Boy, Jalen again, man, taking it right to the rim.
Not afraid to use his whole body. Timeout on the floor. Got no more ad reads to give you, so we can talk through this one. 4:22, and you know that's the kind of physicality that Center Grove is going to have to bring. You can see a lot of rosy cheeks, sweaty guys. I mean, they've got to play for all 32 minutes against Kokomo and then some.
Well, Kokomo's got a really good team, and it's not just Flory Badunga. I mean, you've got the Bellamy brothers. You've got Spear. You've got Hardiman who can shoot. Carson Rogers is a kid that had a big game last night. So, you got to earn it against these guys, against these cats. And I say cats with a K.
Cats with a K.
Yeah, that's the way Kokomo spells it. So, but again, very impressed with Jalen Bundy the last couple possessions. He just says, you know what? Sometimes he's like, you know what? I'm tired of playing out here outside his arc. I'm going to go in there where the shots are easier to hit. I know Badunga lives in there. I don't care. I'm going. If he blocks it, he blocks it. If he fouls me, he fouls me.
Spear on over to Beard. Nothing. So down Ankeny goes. Almost 3 against 1. Hangs on to it with the sheer speed that Ankeny brings.
Yeah, Ankeny just honestly got fouled. And no call, but that's what they haven't called that much all night. But that's why when they do later call the touch fouls, you're like, wait, what?
Up at the top, Spellman. He's thought about it every time he's open. Must not have the green light from head coach Zach Hahn to shoot.
Well, again, I think Flory's too close to him. There's been a couple times when Flory was way off of him. Go ahead and fire it up.
Bundy. No, got his own rebound, though, and hangs on to it. How about that? Ball handling, 101. Yeah. One of the most important things you can do to improve your game is to be able to dribble out of situations just like that.
And to win games, you got to get offensive rebounds. Center Grove gets about 1 million of them. Foul's going to be on Ankeny, I believe.
Hardman is up. Ankeny is up. 3:14 to go. Kokomo down 1 to Center Grove. Ticket to the championship on the line again tonight, 7:30, right here against Brownsburg, who is 8-1. They won the first game by 20 plus. Spear knocking it down and tying it up. Got to make your free throws.
Spear, a 67%er on the season. I had him for 3 of 4, so he's kind of in that range.
Make it 4 for 5. And Kokomo takes the lead. A quiet Memorial Gymnasium. What a historic place to watch a basketball game from. McComb on into Spellman. Ankeny. Tough dribbling. Spellman, green light. Almost. Spear hangs on to it. Badunga was just a step too late to block the shot. So thankfully for the Cats, it didn't go in.
Kokomo with an opportunity to extend the lead here with 2.5 minutes to play.
Reese Beard back to Spear. Badunga way out west. Up and under to Beard. 49-46. I don't think Center Grove saw him coming.
Well, he's the one guy I think sometimes it gets lost on the floor. No offense to him, he's a decent player. But you got to guard all the rest of them, and he gets open.
Bundy off the mark. Give it back to Badunga. 2 minutes to play.
And Badunga thought about it. He's like, I'm going coast to coast. And then he went, wait a minute.
Business decision.
Yeah, he did it last night. It was very impressive. But a different situation. You know, they were up and game was kind of getting out of hand.
Sure thing.
Here you want to kind of be smart, protect your lead, try to extend it.
Wow, they are really slowing down, and there's only 1:40 on the clock. So a real gamble from Coach Beckenpaw here. The alley-oop. Doesn't end in a dunk or a layup. Spear gets it right back, and he's fouled. So a trip to the line for Kokomo. Up 3, very deep in this game.
15.
And yeah, did you get a number on who it's on? Schmitz?
Schmitz, yep.
So that's number 3 for him.
That's who I thought it was, but, you know, you never know. And, again, Kokomo in the bonus here. So Center Grove still has one more foul before they get to 6. So you got one more, and then they'll be in the bonus after that.
1 to give. Bundy charging down. Tough defense from Xavion Bellamy, who's back in the game. How about the 3-point shot from Joey Schmitz to tie it up?
Well, Joey averages about 14 and a half, so no surprise there. Kid can fill it up.
This is the level of basketball you want to see from Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana. Minute to go, all tied up, 49 apiece. Spear over the timeline, the screen from Badunga, who's calling for it under the rim.
Right now, Center Grove more than willing to kind of let him stand there. Coach Hahn at some point is going to say, hey, no, get out there, let's force this. I mean, right now, you know, you got to get close enough. There you go. You can see the official start his count.
38 seconds.
There's the count again.
Kokomo's just going to hang on to this thing as long as possible for the last shot.
Oh, I would if I could. It's just whether or not Center Grove's going to, they're going to come out and trap. And Coach Peckinpah says, you ain't going to trap me. I'm going to call timeout.
Use him if you got him.
Yeah.
You don't get those back at the end of the game, so,
No, you
so
do
why
not.
not? Wow. So what's the play, Jim?
You know what? You got a lot of options over here. The clear one is if you can get the ball inside to the big fella and let him just shoot a little baby hook. But you don't have to settle for that. I mean, I'm telling you, Zion Bellamy can hit a three. You know, Spear can hit a three. You know, so you got to, I mean, I don't know. I mean, seriously, that's the beauty, and that's the advantage that Coach Peckinpah has is this is not a one-man operation. Now, they've got a very impressive one man, okay, but it's not a one-man operation.
Can't quite see what's on the board there.
You know what? Most of the time when you do get a camera angle on the board, I mean, it looks like spaghetti anyway. I mean, you know, it's like what is that? You know, there's lines everywhere, arrows, and it's like, well, I hope the kids know what that means because I sure don't.
Familiar bells tolling over Memorial Gymnasium. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better atmosphere.
No.
This is cool.
The only thing, I mean, honestly, is if there's a bigger crowd, there's probably about 1,500, maybe 1,200, 1,500 here, which is going to make it nice and loud. But imagine if this place had 4,000 people in it.
Yeah, you could blow the roof off like that. And you can hear them already getting loud. Makes it worth the drive up. We're happy to be here. 49-49, 22 seconds to go. Spear is going to be the one to dribble. Gets a screen from Badunga. Over to Bellamy.
Obviously, they're totally spreading the floor here.
10
trying
seconds.
to create some lanes.
Screen from Badunga. Spear. Rattles out. Badunga. Got it! Kokomo buzzer beater. Flory Badunga.
You know what? If you ain't going to do nothing all day, at least be here the last 3 seconds. How about that? And I'm not saying he didn't do anything all day, but what a big play for the big fella. Did not have his best game, but you know what? Said, I'll be all right. Just give me the ball with 1 second. I'll tap it in.
Ticket punch to the championship of the Phil Cox Memorial Tournament. Flory Badunga, after the backboard was lit up red.
Yeah,
Wow.
Ball just hangs on the rim here.
I know.
Almost
just
goes
for
there.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah. And then watch this. It just kind of hangs there.
Wow.
Finally drops.
Flory Badunga gets it done. Kokomo wins in dramatic fashion, 51-49, the final score there.
We'll have some totals for you here in just
Yes,
a second.
we need to take a quick water break here on ISC for that very exciting finish to this one. We'll be right back.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a third season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com. You can see episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
We are back in Memorial Gymnasium after what was the most exciting finish I'd argue, this tournament so far. Now we have our championship match set up. Brownsburg will take on Kokomo here at Memorial Gym, just the way that I'm sure that Kokomo would have liked it. And now Jim Leisure has the very difficult job of picking a key player, a player of the game. Before you do, let me tell you who it's by. It's by Thompson Wealth Management Group, financial advice. It's custom and the financial advice that you can trust. Call Dan today, 317-810-5414 for your complimentary consultation. Jim Leisure, take it away.
You know what, honestly, there's only, I think, been one MVP of the Super Bowl from a losing team, is a guy named Chuck Howley in Super Bowl V for the Cowboys. I'm giving it to Will Spellman. The kid had 14 points, held Badunga to 8, was not able to keep him away from the rim on that last one. But Kokomo, they're a team, man. They had 7 people score. Center Grove only had 5. And they're Spellman. Just what a great game. I know it's a losing effort, but sometimes the best player doesn't always win.
And so that'll do it from a very exciting finish at Memorial Stadium here in Kokomo, Indiana. Special thanks out in the truck to Vincent Morales, our friend on the camera, Aaron Siders. On behalf of Jim Leisure, I am JD Arlen, saying have a great afternoon, and we will see you tonight.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at ISC